Bom dia, guys. Rafael and Jackson once again with another
dia,
episode of the podcast. Yeah, so we talked about the psychology of Jiu Jitsu. So the benefits of what it does when you come into a gym, train. What is the main two things that we see when you come into a Jiu Jitsu gym in your first 10 days, when you try it, in the first class maybe, whatever program that you're looking for. This video is going to help you. What will it bring to you when you sign up?
We talked about the physical aspect of Jiu-Jitsu when you train, the physical connection, the sweaty thing, combined with the warming, welcome, friendship from Brazil. You know, like these two things together, combined, really makes this extraordinary kind of environment. You know, that's... Even me, I never thought about this so clear like today, you know, like why Jiu-Jitsu is such a cool place to be, why the mats is such a happy place. It's because Brazil is a happy place. Jiu-Jitsu is a happy martial art, efficient, gentle. You know, when you combine these two things, it's there, you know, it's something very unique. And talking about this today in the podcast actually made me realize even more how lucky I am. And how good is the environment we create at our gym, and that's why we have this giant circle of friends. For anything that I need, I'm gonna have a friend one phone call away that always can give me a friendly advice, or not even a friendly advice, but even like pull my ear in a way of there's somebody that I can trust, you know. Yeah. So it was a great podcast. I really enjoyed to talk about it, and I hope you guys like it.
Yeah. Obrigado.
Good morning.
Good morning,
it's
man.
Nearly lunchtime, Houston, Texas.
Nearly.
First rainy day of December. I was actually thinking about this today, like how little it rains here. For me that came from London, it's such a blast. We don't have so much water, but of course I like when it's raining too.
How many times a week it rains there in London?
It rains a lot.
6 or 7.
Yeah, it rains a lot. Yesterday I went to pick up my daughter in the school and it was already getting dark. And I was thinking about it like, oh man, in London it's like that all the time. You know, 4 o'clock is already getting dark. And how you feeling, man?
At 4?
Yeah, 4 o'clock.
Pretty good. Chill day, like you said, chill day. Nobody outside, like everybody covering.
How's the morning class? Good class today?
Yeah, pretty chill. Yeah, pretty chill class. You know, the people that come when it's rainy, right now it's colder, of course, for someone that lives in Houston. The people that come into that class, they're tough mindset already. They come in like a warrior.
The new girl actually said, like, you asked her about the rainy day, and she said, like, I don't care about the rainy day.
There's no problem. She came in like it's a normal day. That's the warrior mindset. That's the warrior mindset.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you need. That's what we all need a little bit. No problem. Whatever days, sunny, rainy, rainbows, doesn't matter. Cool. So one thing that Jackson and we were discussing before starting the podcast is an article that I found pretty recently about the psychology of Jiu-Jitsu. It's an older article, but it has some things that is pretty interesting to see, and we want to react on and talk about the benefits and the psychology behind it. It's pretty interesting. And he says many people, and I bet you heard about this, like my best friends are from my jiu-jitsu gym. I built my whole basically family, my family from another mother and everything. My brothers, my sisters are from my jiu-jitsu gym, and reading this makes total sense. And when the guy says he's a psychologist, a clinical psychologist, and he's been a student for a long time, and he says that one of the things that distinguishes training in jiu-jitsu, the first step in the mat is a face-to-face grappling, right? So body to body with other students, and you get to that touch in the first part. Like most people work and everything in the whole day with handshake. That's the minimal touch that they have. If they don't have a partner at home or something, or they don't have kids, that's the minimum of a body-to-body experience that they have. And not, of course, that the guy is making the context of that jiu-jitsu is not soft or something like that. You training for self-defense purposes, but that body-to-body experience and that face-to-face, that means that you will have a connection with a person even faster just because of that. That's the main reason when you have a kid, you have a baby, in that first 6 months or a year is that closest with the mom, and that's the reason why they're so connected. And then with this, you need a partner. For jiu-jitsu, you need a partnership. And that's why friendship in jiu-jitsu is so fast, because is that connection with another person, trusting in another person that they're not going to hurt you, is that what makes friends fast.
I agree with that so much. The body contact in jiu-jitsu and the friendship you make, it's well known now. Everybody talks about it, like how your jiu-jitsu school become your second family. In a lot of cases, actually, is your first family. I have met a lot of people that they really embrace the jiu-jitsu friendship in a way that's, you can notice that's a little bit more than the others, and one of the aspects of what's make this connection in jiu-jitsu, it's because the physical contact, right? It's very few sports that you have this physical contacts that really breaks a lot of taboos, and and that's one taboo that I had when I started to train jiu-jitsu. I was being invited for my friends. My friends was already training jiu-jitsu, because in Brazil people often go to jiu-jitsu first as the first sport, because there's gyms everywhere.
Oh, really?
It's a very popular sport.
They don't pick capoeira and everything. That's what most people think. That
capoeira too, but I think jiu-jitsu
now is the main,
even more popular now. And jiu-jitsu, when I started to train, was more like it was an expensive sport. So was selecting a lot of the people that have more money in the gym. And that was not my case. I was not fortunate to be in that group, but because I used to work in the nightclub, I knew these people. I knew them very well, and they often invite me like, "Hey, come to jiu-jitsu," and immediately come like my family there, and I embrace like so much jiu-jitsu. That's everybody that I knew from that point forwards was related to jiu-jitsu. And I remember me denying the invitation because of the contact sport. I went to watch one day and I say, no, I can't do that. It's too much, And in Brazil also there is this male kind of thing, like, oh, you don't touch another guy, and this, you don't hug another sweaty guy. I always had that in my head. And I denied the invitation for maybe like a year or two. I say like, no, I don't like jiu-jitsu. I was doing capoeira, I was doing biking, and I was happy with that. And then and one day a friend of mine from jiu-jitsu, from capoeira, his name is Samuel. He lives in Abu Dhabi now. He's one of the teachers in Abu Dhabi. And he say, hey man, you have to come and train jiu-jitsu. I went there and I did 1 week of class and it's really good. You're gonna like it. So I told him like, I go, but I have to go with you. And then I went with him, and my first experience was another story that I want to share one day. But I broke in that concept of barrier, and then it's invisible, how you get attached to your friends because you break that taboo, and you become. There is a extra layer of friendship on that because you break that taboo, and now you are wrestling with your friend and sparring and going get food after and sharing how your day, and handshake mandatory handshake in the school. It's not just a handshake. It's a handshake, you pull the guy, little hug on the shoulder, mandatory before the class, after the class. You can, in my gym actually, it would be like very rude if you walk on the mat and you don't shake everybody's hand. And I try to plant the city here all the time. You see, like when the guys arrive, I say, "Hey, what's going on, man? Shake hands," and and
say hi to everybody.
And this is one of the aspect that I think jiu-jitsu it's really bond people together, And of course, there's no sexuality. It's like men, women, children. Everybody go through the same thing. And another thing that I think that's very important on this concept of psychology of jiu-jitsu and friendship and long-term relationship and friendship with people is the Brazilian culture. The Brazilian culture is very warm. Like the South America itself, everybody
very welcoming.
Everybody know that's super welcome. You from there too, but I don't know. In Brazil, there is I can't tell about other places because I never lived in another South America country, you know, but it's so warm in Brazil. Like, oh my God, people are so ready to welcome on everything. And a handshake is not enough, you know, like a hug and a phone call and a text and go to your house in the weekend to share some food. You know, the barbecue that's so popular, you know, like, hey, come to my house, we're going to do a barbecue. Like, that's what my friends always said, like when I announced that I'm going to Brazil to visit my family and my friends, like, oh man, come to my house, we're gonna make a barbecue. You know, the word barbecue, it's like it's
for community.
It's
yeah,
community, it's sharing, it's good time, it's hours of talk. You know, it's not like food and go. It's like you go, you get in and you share that moment, you prepare the food and you clean after, and it's like 4 or 5 hours of sit and talk. You know, and I think that's something that's the sport itself, the art itself, the Jiu Jitsu art that was created by the Gracie family, together with the hospitality and warming Brazilian idea together, made this thing it's hard to get anywhere else. You know, it's really hard to get in any other sport, to get this connection, this friendship, this camaraderie, and how lucky I am to be part of this and today, like, be a leader of a group and share this. You know, like I try to share this as much as I can because it's so important. It's so important to have this. We're losing this more and more with the electronics and the phones and computers and dating through websites. You know, that's how I met my wife. I met my wife in a website. You know, and probably if there's no computer and I'm still in Brazil, I probably would have met her in a barbecue. You know, in a community event. You know, not even like in a nightclub, but like talking in a grocery store.
A friend of a friend.
A friend of a friend, you know, like they actually hook you up, like they see you and they match. The match.com is no.com. It's right here. You know, hey, I think you and my friend gonna do well, man. You should meet her. Make a whole party just for you guys to meet together, you know? And
makes a whole difference,
And then today I went to the book fair in my daughter's school and clash everything what I'm saying right now. You know, I got there and always open to meet people and meet the parents and meet everybody, and I couldn't get one handshake. Seriously, I was thinking about this morning, like, am I smelling bad or it's the rain outside? What's happening here? Everybody were only with the kids and that's it. I was actually like looking to people's face like, hey, I'm here. Shake my hand, say hi. No, passing through and go. You know?
Focus on their thing.
I think today was a unique day because I know that's the culture here is different than the culture that I came from, but still, you know, people say hi. You know, like very different than the UK. When I came here, I noticed the difference. The UK is even more colder. You know, and I think that's there's a lot of relation with the weather and the dark and the rain, and you know, and people like to read books, so they're always on the books, reading the train, in the underground transportation, in the buses, you know. But today I felt the UK here. Today I felt I was in the UK in a rainy day. After a terrorist attack, you know, like that, everybody's like even more close and they really don't want to talk with everybody. Today was kind of a sad morning, you know, and that was dad donuts reading book, only dads, you know, only males with the kids reading books for the children. And I didn't feel it at all. You know, like most of the parents were parents that I didn't know, with new students that joined the school recently. And I was super excited to go there and meet with them because last week we got an invitation from the school for a birthday party. There's 2 twins in my daughter's classroom, and we got an invitation for the birthday party, and I show my wife the invitation, and we realized that both of us, we have no clue who are the kids and we have no clue who are the parents. And I told her, like, I'm gonna go to the party anyway. I'm gonna go anyway because that's the chance for me to meet with them. you know. And then this morning this thing happened again, and I was just thinking like, why not just say hi and put a smile on the face, and you know, and jiu-jitsu is well needed all around the world to bring this warming, you know, this warming relation that we are losing more and more and more and more. You know, like this cat here, for example. Look how cool is that? He coming around and
just a visitor, and
he don't care. He come visit, look, give you a handshake, you know. And on top of that, I feel even more blessed to be the person who I am today. You know, that I'm a jiu-jitsu professor, and I've been doing this for a long time. And on top of that, I have the Brazilian culture on my back as my background too.
That's your foundation of
my foundation, and I think the students get a little bit more benefit if the professor have some of this experience. You know, like, of course, I was lucky enough to born in Brazil next to a jiu-jitsu gym, and I had this connection there. You know, and maybe not everybody gonna have the opportunity, because now there's a lot of new professors from many other countries, you know, many other nationalities that become black belt and become professors, but they never had the Brazilian experience. Yeah. You know, and
they're gonna bring their own culture in.
Yes, and I really recommend, like, if you really want to embrace and become a professor one day and teach jiu-jitsu, you know, like, try to direct one of your vacations, you know, like, make your savings to go and spend a month or two in Brazil. A month or two, it's too much to say that, because it's not everybody that can do that unless you are single and you can do that, but like at least a week, you know, or make 10 days, 2 weeks, you know, part of your graduation before you get your black belt, or, you know, like, to put that on your curriculum, you know, to put that on your resume, you know, like, hey, I'm a black belt, I'm a jiu-jitsu professor today, but I went there in Brazil and I experienced the jiu-jitsu there. Of course, like, select the place where you go. And, you know, we recently had a story of one of my students that went there a couple of weeks ago and had a very bad experience in a jiu-jitsu gym there. And he went there to train in Brazil, and they were super welcome. They welcomed him, and super nice, the Brazilian. Oh, my man, my brother, you my brother. Thanks for where you coming from. Oh, you were American. Oh my gosh, so good to have you here. But then they beat him up and hurt him in the training, you know, and unnecessary. You know, the professor was gonna make a footage of the professor training with my student there, because for them was also a nice experience.
An opportunity
to have this American guy coming and training the gym is something very different for them. Of course, that doesn't happen every day, and the professor was too excited, and I think the professor saw him as an opportunity to come to America.
Yeah,
you know, the professor saw, oh, you're an American guy. Oh my God, my dream is to go to America and have my gym there, and let me show you how good I am. Yeah. And end up like hurting him, and kind of bad actually, you know, he's still recovering his leg. And that's something that you have to think about, you know, like, if you go there, you know, like, research, you know, just don't jump in an airplane and go knock any gym there, you know, but make a little research and make that as a part of your resume, to have the Brazilian experience of go there and train like Pedro Sauer, do these nice camps there. Imagine like how much of what we're talking here happen in those camps with Master Pedro Sauer. That's a guy that's in a different level, and he know the friendship, and, you know, he's not a guy that wanna make a footage and beat you up and have this footage to show his students that he can beat an American big strong guy, you know, and, you know, that
doesn't matter.
But I think that is very important to be part of your jiu-jitsu journey, you know, like, if you can go, or if you cannot go there, like, make sure like you go and visit a gym where there is a Brazilian instructor, you know, and see how that goes, you know, Yeah,
and it was interesting because yesterday from the students that are brand new that he brought his brother, the main thing that he said, like, he felt the difference in the energy, like, when you're a new student or you have a little bit of experience on jiu-jitsu, you know the energy or the whole program vibe from the moment you stepped in. And it was funny enough that he said like they just felt it. They felt that it was the right place to be when they entered to the gym, and you want to feel the same way. They felt comfortable. They felt that you can go there and spend more of your time as a friendship, as brothers that you pick there to learn jiu-jitsu, and that made the whole difference for them.
Yeah.
And his brother said the same thing. Like I feel comfortable here. I think I can be here and train.
And he came from another gym. He's already a purple belt.
Yeah,
right?
for another gym that he felt comfortable too, but he got hurt and he wanted that feeling again in a different type of option self-defense. So it was super interesting. And to complement that, I mean, there's another part that says that such contact triggers that releases some neurochemicals in our brain, hormones throughout our body, which makes more aware, focused, connected. Like oxytocin is one hormone. It's called the empathy hormone, which is released in the body when such physical contact. So that's why the friendship comes in, you know. So that connection, that empathy level of, okay, I have to train safer for my partner so that way they don't get hurt and I don't get hurt either. And then there's the other part, the mindfulness of and getting the control on the survival side. So for example, and this is funny because he said like make sure that the oxytocin is called the cuddle hormone too, but be aware the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the alpha male version of snuggling, so be aware of that. So it's funny that he said that, right? So in the other part, he said that the internal competition that you have with yourself, the struggle to survive, and the physical dominance that you have in that Jiu-Jitsu triggers another thing. So prepares to flee or flight. So that's another side of hormones, so norepinephrine, adrenaline, cortisol, all that stuff. And then mindfulness is a paramount concept that has that part. So you have to be there, focus on, okay, I don't want to get choked, I don't want to get control. You can't think about anything else. So you just focus in that.
Frustrations and everything.
Yes,
they have to
is a
stay
way.
out.
And that's the concept that we have now. Like the thing that we have is for a year we teach you the basics and the foundation. You're not gonna spar or anything like that. Then when you're ready,
right?
for the beginners, you go there. Exactly. You go there and train and drill as many techniques as the techniques we show you until you know how to not only do them but how to combine with each other. For that, you're gonna have like a transitional for the advanced one, right? For the advanced classes, for the advanced program. That's when you get to spar. You get to spar the self-defense part of with gloves and everything, defend from punches, and defend from another person that knows jiu-jitsu, dominating you, controlling you, or trying to submit you with any locks that they may know, right?
And we trust so much the system that we have, huh?
And that's the power of it, because we want to show you that first path is for you to be calm in that situation. You know how to escape from those bottom situation part of the fight when somebody's on the mount or somebody is on your back or something like that. You already drilled it in a year or so, and then you get that transition that you get starting to get used to new techniques and new positions and everything, and now in a little bit more live side of it. But even in between that, there's another class that comes in to prepare you for a little safely
from the advanced. There's another class in the middle
in between
that's really prepares you to go to the next level. That's the sparring parts.
Yeah, so it's a step by step. It's a step by step that makes you calm in that survival. And we have to practice that because we're not anymore in this modern life. And like he's saying right now, in this modern life that we have, we're not in flee or flight anymore, or we triggered it so much by little things that is not even survival things. Like we don't even understand sometimes that little things here and there that happens in our job, in our daily job, we don't have to worry that much because we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. But doing jiu-jitsu, that helps you to understand when you're in danger physically, literally your life is in danger, and when not. And when you're not in danger, you're like, okay, why am I stressing so much? And then when you're in danger, you're ready. You have your tools there as a self-defense to either avoid it when you can avoid it, or if you have to fight, you have the tools to get it. So you get to that slowly progression on that side of no sparring at all, then in between you get a little bit more intensity, and then a few months later you get a little bit more, and then progressively you get there. You start to understand, okay, not only your stress relief, that's one of the main benefits of that, because you can't think of anything else, you can't do anything meanwhile another person, or you're trying to learn another thing, meanwhile you're trying to help another partner, you can't think of anything else. And the flee or flight situation that you learning how to be comfortable in that survival mind. You get a little bit confused and everything at the beginning, not frustrated but tense because you don't know what to do, but then you're getting comfortable, then you get a little bit more relaxed in those situations, you get more playful, you want to be there to play and everything, like we were kids again, basically. And that's the power of,
it's funny, like how Jiu-Jitsu is so the opposite,
no?
Right? Jiu-Jitsu, most of the students, they start in a fast pace, and the more advanced they get, they slow down, while the other sports is the opposite, right? When you're learning, you go slow because you don't know what to do, and the goal is to go faster and speed and be more. Jiu-Jitsu is like totally the opposite, you know. It's so interesting.
Interesting. And we can come back from that contact part, because there's so much contact in between. Like if you practice something like karate, I trained when I was a kid for 3 years, and I didn't even do anything with no partners at all, no sparring or anything. Maybe in a competition here or there that I did, but it's like no a touch point. There's no like that face-to-face or that body-to-body contact, nothing at all. So that contact in somebody trying to control you and dominate your whole body, that freaks you out a little bit. And that makes your whole learning process more and more, and that benefit, it just transcends and transitions to many things in your life. And in mine, like I was saying in Jackson, there's a book that was recommended from a mom that is called Raising Boys. And I was saying, Jackson, when boys are growing up, from that book that it says, that psychology says that we start developing testosterone in a young age. And for me, and it was funny enough that Jackson said, like, man, I can't imagine you doing that stuff. But when I was a kid, I was 8 years old, I was playing video games. I was with my dad at that time. Then my stepbrother came in and wanted to play with me and said, like, in a minute, let me finish the game in a minute. And then like it was his PlayStation, but because I live with myself, I was like, this is mine. This is mine right now. And then and I practiced karate like for a few months before. So I was in ninja mode. So that when he's still like asking me, I put the control to the ground and I kick him in the chest. So I was ninja mode all the way. So that side of the testosterone is so there that the survival, we think that we have to like do something about it, and then when you're a kid, that testosterone is his peak and you get it more and more and more, and then it drops back again. So that like between I think 8 or 12 that the person said, that's just a guideline, it's not for everybody, but it's just a guideline that your testosterone gets peaked. That's why you see boys not learning how to lose in most cases, throwing things away, like they're not patient, their aggression is so high, they're wrestling all the time because they're trying to learn self-control. And that's what you learn in Jiu-Jitsu is self-control in those situations. We have to keep as men that aggression, we have to somehow learn it and keep it at bay. And I have a new appreciation when I see kids in a class. Now I see them in that lens. Like I didn't have that too much, and of course I eventually learned it. Of course after my mom like helped me with that part, but learning in that side is teaching you how to self-control, mostly as a male. The stress relief that you have, the aggression that you release every day. And Jackson said when I came in, and that happened to me too, Thanksgiving week, that without jiu-jitsu a day, the day is tough, man. The day is tough.
It's different
you see it totally different, right?
I missed to go to the gym this week twice because my wife's traveling. I have to go stay with the kids. Rafael is taking care of the classes. And it's just like, oh man, you just want to be there, you just want to be there all the time because it's just fun to be there, to see the guys walking in and share a little story, train, go through exactly what you're saying here, the physical contacts.
There's many things
winning,
going on.
Losing, disconnect from other problems, other frustrations. and then in the end sit down exhausted and have a little talk, a little chat, stretch together, you know, and sometimes like a lot of emotional things come up. This week we went deep to a conversation with a student, you know. He got very emotional telling us about his childhood, and you know, he's a guy that I know like for years since arriving in Houston, and still getting to know him more and more. And then like after we had that long conversation in the mats, I ended up like talking with even more with him in the changing room, you know, how thankful he was to have me on his path, and I had the first time the opportunity to tell him too how important was to have him in my path too. You know, like when I opened my gym, was the first guy that's call me and say like, hey, I'm with you, man, whatever happens, you know, and let's go, let's do it. And I had the opportunity to remind him how important was to have him in my transition from one job to the other job and open my own school here.
Yeah, that vote of confidence, man.
And yeah, it's incredible, you know. So if you think that this would be important on your life to have this extra connection and learning a little bit more about this warming hospitality, you know, and how important that is, and share your problems, you know, try to go to Jiu Jitsu, you know. Our gym specifically, we have this program so separate, you know, the beginners like 100% safe, you know, like 100% safe, not 100%, but the injury risk is so low that we haven't seen anybody get injured in the beginners class like for forever, you know. And you can come and do 10 days free. And what's the situation with the contract, with the registration at our gym is like there is no intention of trap anybody, you know. The other day I was reading the reviews of another school, one of the biggest school in Houston, and like, man, like every 3 reviews out of 10 is somebody complaining about the contract, you know, that you cannot come out. Yeah. You can't come out of the contract, and you know, and then for me that breaks totally this psychology that we're talking here. Imagine you go to a psychology doctor and he say like, cool, I can treat you, but I have to sign 1-year contract with me and you can go anywhere else. You know, doctors don't do that. They're gonna leave you open to try his knowledge and see how much he can help you. But if you wanna go somewhere, you go. And that's exactly what we apply at our school. You know, we're never gonna trap anybody in a contract in a way that's you need to get a lawyer to get out or pay like, you know, like a dead amount of money that's like $300, $400, $500. Actually, right now we are offering to pay people's contracts, right?
Man, that's a secret
it's
promotion that is gonna come
we are thinking about that like
next month.
If you wanna really
thinking about it.
If you're not happy with your training, you get injured, and you still there because you don't wanna pay that $400 cancellation fee, we're gonna pay that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna pay that for you to give you the freedom, and you can come and try our school without that commitment. That's for me is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, like
imagine that you go to a fitness gym and you need a lawyer to get out of it. That doesn't make any sense.
It's kind of difficult. You know, like for me breaks this.
Yeah, that connection,
psychology, this friendship, you know, like, oh, my place is amazing, you're gonna love it, but
you better,
if you try to get out of my friendly spot, my amazing place here, you're gonna have to pay me $400, and there is no way to get out of it. And if you try to get out, I'm gonna lawsuit you and I'm gonna put you in collection. You know?
Here's a handcuff for a year. Go, boom.
Yes, it's not necessary. You know, like if you trust the product, if you trust this concept, what we're talking here now, people gonna be around you. Doesn't matter what.
Yeah,
you know?
that's a difference. And to finish the whole thing, like, try whatever you are, try a gym that you're looking for, that you enter and you just feel the vibe. You see the professor, the instructor that is there. You want to make sure that you feel safe and that you feel that connection. Then, for example, this is the main benefits that I see for someone that if you're looking for a place that you want to find friendships immediately, like you moving from somewhere else and you're just trying to connect with somebody there, so that way you don't have to wait so long to have friendship in that place or have maybe resources and connections there. go to a jiu-jitsu gym, you will find a bunch of people
Yeah.
from that locality. You're gonna be fine.
You're gonna find
And
from handymans to doctors to lawyers
engineers,
to judges and all kinds of people gonna be gathered in the same place.
yeah, everything.
And the only thing you have to do is to be part of that group, you know,
Yeah.
like not just like all the physical benefits that you get, the self-defense, you know, but you're gonna like spread open
many things, yeah.
your circle of friends and real friends, you know, like people that's jiu-jitsu already selected for you, you know, that's gonna be ready to welcome
It
you
helps.
in.
Yeah, it helps a lot. It's a good resource. So anything else before we go?
No, it's just like,
It's all good.
you know, enforce the idea of, you know, put a smile on the face and, you know, be open to meet people. And I think that's one of the most important things in life,
Yeah.
you know, and jiu-jitsu is such a perfect art that's really have that as the first layer, you know, like when you go to jiu-jitsu school, you feel that welcoming, you know, and yeah, go and try it. Give yourself a chance, you know. Everybody come now with the 2020 new resolution in January. Everybody's open to try something new, and don't hesitate. Try a jiu-jitsu school. Try jiu-jitsu. It's growing more and more, and for a reason, you know. It's because it's a really fun thing to do. You can have control on it. You can, you know, experience something very different in a safe way, and yeah, go there and try it.
Yeah, try it out, and then if you need somebody that needs a little bit of education, what jiu-jitsu brings you as the top two things is this: send to somebody that is looking for a little bit of what jiu-jitsu is all about and what can bring you as a benefit. Yeah, send it to them and share it to them so that way they know. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments, and we're gonna leave the email like always, so that way you can let us know.
Yeah.
If you need anything.
That's it.
Cool, thank you.
2019, we're right in the end of it.
Almost. Ciao, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Obrigado.
See you next time.